Hello, my name is Isabella Perez, Recreation Leader for the City of Socorro. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Before the meeting begins, we would like to remind our guests to remove all hats and silence all electronic devices. No destructive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to ejection and possible prosecution.
Hola, mi nombre es Judy Rodríguez, secretaria de Planificación de la Ciudad de Socorro. Gracias por participar en la reunión de hoy. Antes de que comience la reunión, nos gustaría recordarles a nuestros invitados favor de quitarse los sombreros y silenciar todos los dispositivos electrónicos. No se tolerará ningún comportamiento perturbador ni exabrupto y los infractores estarán sujetos a expulsión y posible procesamiento.
Good evening, everybody, y muy buenas noches. I want to welcome you all to the February 20th Socorro City Council meeting. I want to call this meeting to order at 6:01 p.m. At this time, we're going to go ahead and ask the students of Waco Elementary School to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence by those recently affected by the Sun Metro explosion. Thank you all. Thank you. If I can have all of you students walk this way, and then we're going to face our parents and teachers and grandmas and grandpas and uncles and aunts.
Get closer, guys. All the way back. There you go. Gee, you need to be in front.
So it's a tradition here at the Socorro City Council chambers to recognize our students that help lead us in the pledge as we welcome them here today. This is the future that you see before you all. There was a time where us standing here behind the table were once in their shoes, and hopefully one day they'll be in our shoes. We're going to go ahead and read out their names, and after that we're going to take a nice photograph with the council, if you guys would allow us to do that. But before we move forward, I do want to thank you all for raising amazing kids. I've spoken to several administrators from the school district. We know that last night's school board meeting was a difficult one. We know that the news is a difficult news to hear. And our city and the school district are two completely different entities, but I want you all to know that the city of Socorro is going to support, and we're going to engage our students as much as possible. And we're going to keep fighting for our students, our teachers, our community. And we're going to do everything in our legal power to make sure that these things don't ever happen again and our students don't suffer. So I want you all to know that it takes a village to raise these kids, and we welcome them with open arms, okay? Thank you all.
We'd like to start off our celebration by awarding a certificate to Iker Arredondo. Adair Arroyo. Zoe Parrera. Janelle Bueno. Matthew Carrillo. Samuel Fijas. Daniel Enriquez. Ethan Felix. Ava Garcia. Victor Gonzalez. Eric Gonzalez. Dante Gutierrez. Violet Hernandez. Xander Moncada. Hayden Morales. Mateo Negron. Dominic Rivera. Vinca Rojas. Aaron Sosa. Ariana Torres. Nasli Varela. Ethan Venegas. Montserrat Zamora. Isaac Moreno. And we'd also like to welcome Principal Greg Hatch. Parents, if you want to scoot up to take a group photo, you're more than welcome. Okay, ready, everybody? Big smiles, big smiles. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. One more photo. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
There, no. No.
What item are we on? Okay, at this time, we're going to go ahead and establish quorum.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Rudy Cruz.
Here.
Gina Cordero. Here. And Irene Rojas.
Here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Navarro. At this time, we're going to move into our public comment portion of the meeting. We have one speaker, that's correct?
That's correct. Rini Lopez.
Okay, he wants to speak. And I also do want to acknowledge former Mayor Trini Lopez is with us here today. Mayor Lopez, thank you. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 5. This is the recognition of the 2025 Campus Teachers of the Year and 2025 Campus Employees of the Year for the Socorro High School feeder area. Mr. Garcia.
Good evening to all our educators from the city of Socorro. This is my favorite day for you guys because I, as a public educator, Ms. Rojas as well, I look forward to this because we have the ability to do this for you. It means the world to us because want everybody to know how important you are in our city. We were in Austin last night. We flew in this morning, and we were all flabbergasted with what happened last night. And we hope that anything the city can do in our power, we're going to be able to help some way or another. But this is the smallest token we can do for you to recognize our employees of the year, our support staff of the year, and our teachers of the year. And like I told you, I look forward every year to do this for you guys because you guys deserve this and more. So with that, we can get started.
Mr. Garcia, I also want to take some time to thank you. Mr. Garcia is also an educator, and he's usually the one that brings these items to the table. I think sometimes we get caught up in the city business, and we're talking about the finances and whatnot, but Mr. Garcia brings us back to earth and acknowledging our students and making sure that our kids are acknowledged, as well as the teachers in our area. So I want to thank you, Mr. Garcia, for bringing these items to the table.
Thank you. Thank you.
We want to go ahead and acknowledge the individuals by calling their names, not name calling, but calling their names. And then we'll have them join us up here. And when your name is called, can you please stand up here and stay here with us for the photo as we acknowledge you all here today. Go ahead, Mr. Reta.
Beginning with the 2025 Elementary Campus Teacher of the Year and the 2025 Elementary Campus Support Staff of the Year. From Campestre Elementary School, Teacher of the Year, April Loveano. Campestre Elementary School, Support Staff of the Year, Smirna Alderete. Escontrias STEAM Academy Teacher of the Year, Angelina Porras. Escontrias STEAM Academy Support Service Employee of the Year, Sarai Chavez. H.D. Haley Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Trinidad Trini Lopez. H.D. Haley Support Staff of the Year, Luisa Camarillo. Hueco Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Ana Mendoza. Hueco Elementary School Support Service Member of the Year, Silvia Enriquez. Robert R. Rojas Elementary School Teacher of the Year, Carmen Favela. Robert R. Rojas Elementary School Support Service Member of the Year, Sandy Morales. If you would like to get closer to take a photo, please join Miss Rosie in the front. No, they can just sit down because there's two groups. Or just. If you will follow Miss Rosie. Now, the 2025 Secondary Campus Teacher of the Year and 2025 Secondary Campus Support Service Member of the Year. For Ernesto Serna Fine Arts Academy Teacher of the Year, Susana Hernandez. Ernesto Serna Fine Arts Academy, Service Support Member, Blanca Cruz. Salvador H. Sanchez Middle School, Teacher of the Year, Josefina Sotomayor. Salvador H. Sanchez Middle School, Support Service Member of the Year, Edgar Lucero. From Socorro Middle School, Teacher of the Year, Jimmy Ruedas. From Socorro Middle School, Support Service Member of the Year, Officer Steven Juarez. From Socorro High School, Teacher of the Year, Silvia Hernandez. From Socorro High School, Support Service Member of the Year, Maribel Garcia. If you'd like to step up to the front to get some photos, you may do so at this time. We'll have both elementary and secondary join for a group photo. Congratulations, everyone.
Mayor. Speaker. Yes.
Felicidades a todos. It is an honor to stand by my colleagues, my fellow educators. Some of you I know personally. Thank you for all that you do. I know what it is. I know what it, the dedication that it takes. Thank you.
Mayor, we have a speaker.
Yeah, Mr. Lopez, so we want to go ahead and hand you the microphone.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Olivia. Me siento muy emocionado. I'm very emotional right now because of what is happening in this town, in this district. Let me start with saying that my first job at the age of 16 was being a teacher, substituting a person who was sick, and I was called to help for 1 year in the school in my town where I was living at. But the main thing here is to congratulate all the teachers, the real heroes of the day, the real heroes of the night. They are always looking for the future of our kids. And I am really happy to see among them is my son. It's my second in the family who got the honor of being the Teacher of the Year. And with that, I want to say thank you, Council, and thank you, all of you. Gracias, que están todos muy bien. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice
Thank
good
you,
night.
Mr. Lopez, for your comments. Mayor? Yeah, Mr. Garcia, go ahead.
I'd like to motion to delete number 6 due to scheduling conflict.
They will postpone for next meeting.
Do you need a motion to delete or a motion to postpone the item?
Motion to postpone.
Okay, there's a motion to postpone this item by Ms. Rojas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. We'll bring it back at a later date. Thank you.
Next regular meeting.
Next city council meeting. Very well. Moving on to consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Do you need to take the vote for that? Yeah, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Okay, consent agenda's been approved. We're gonna move on to the regular agenda. Do you need to take the vote for regular? We just move into regular, right?
Right, we just moved it to regular.
All right. Regular agenda item number 9. This is a public hearing of an ordinance approving a replat for Valle Bonito Estates subdivision, being Lot 2, Block 8, El Gran Valle subdivision, and located at 11611 Valle Bonito Road, Socorro, Texas. Public hearing is now open at 6:20 p.m. Do we have any speakers, Ms.
No
Navarro?
speakers.
No, as there are no speakers, we're going to go ahead and close that public hearing at 6:20 p.m. as well. Agenda item number 10, this is second hearing and adoption of an ordinance approving a replat for Valle Bonito Estates subdivision, being Lot 2, Block 8, El Gran Valle subdivision, and located at 11611 Valle Bonito Road, Socorro, Texas. We have Ms. Quimiro.
Motion to approve. What, is that it?
I'm sorry, do we have a motion?
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Lorraine Quimiro, City Planner. Item number 10 for your consideration this evening is a subdivision replat of Valle Bonito Estates. The property is located at 11611 Valle Bonito Road. The property owner is Jose A. Munoz. Their representative is Sal Masud, Del Rio Engineering. The property is a little over 20,000 square feet in size, and the current zoning is single-family residential. The current land use is vacant, and in summary, the request is to approve a replat of Valle Bonito Estates subdivision. Staff recommends approval of the replat. The Planning and Zoning voted for approval unanimously, 5-0, of the Valle Bonito Estates subdivision at their January 21st meeting, with the condition that the engineering review comments are met. The property is located just near the intersection of Valle Romero Drive and Valle Bonito Road. It is single-family residential, surrounded by other single-family residential zoning. The next slide is photographs of the property taken from Valle Bonito Road, showing that the property is vacant. As can be seen as well in the aerial photograph, the properties adjacent are also residential and one adjacent vacant property. The replat proposes to split the lot into 2 individual lots with access to Valle Bonito. And with that, staff can answer any questions.
Do any members of council have any questions on this item? Or would like to discuss further? No? No, there was a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? No? That motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 11, this is a public hearing of an ordinance approving a preliminary and final plat for Hermanos Industrial Subdivision, being all of Track 6 and 6A, Block 2, Socorro Grant, located at 11051 North Loop Drive in Socorro, Texas. It is now 6:24 p.m. Public hearing is now open.
No speakers, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Navarro. As there are no speakers, we're going to go ahead and close the public hearing at 6:24 p.m. as well. Agenda item number 12. This is a second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving a preliminary and final plat for the Hermanos Industrial Subdivision, being all of Track 6 and 6A, Block 2, Socorro Grant, located at 11051 North Loop Drive, Socorro, Texas. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. The Hermanos Industrial Subdivision preliminary and final plat request is before you. The property again is 11051 North Loop Road Drive. The property owner is Hermanos Farms LTD and Representative Green Law Partners, as well as Jorge Escarate with CEA Group, who is here to answer any questions that council might have. The lot is almost 100 acres in size. It is currently zoned industrial, commercial, mixed-use development, and the current use is agricultural. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary and final plat for Hermanos Industrial Subdivision. Planning and Zoning Commissioners voted for approval, 3 yes and 2 abstentions for the request at their January 21st meeting. The property is about a little over half a mile southeast of the intersection of Horizon Boulevard and North Loop. The next slide shows the zoning, the ICMUD surrounded by a mix of residential and agricultural zoning. The aerial photograph shows the current land use, a pecan orchard. And the next slide are photographs taken from. Next slide. Sorry, I might have skipped over the photographs, but the photographs are of the property taken from North Loop and from Clems Road. The next set of slides are from the traffic impact analysis, which is a requirement for the ICMUD rezoning as well as the master plan. They will be updating this TIA before filing the final plat. And the development schedule. They anticipate completion of the project in April of 2027. The preliminary plat shows the topography and the existing parcels. And the final plat shows the 3 lots that the subdivision is including, and they range in size from 35 acres, I'm sorry, the smallest being 23 acres, and the largest being just under 40 acres in size. The plat also includes some stipulations for additional right-of-way on North Loop to provide for future expansion of North Loop, as well as a deceleration lane into the property. With that, again, staff can answer any questions, and representative of the applicant, Jorge Escarate, is here to answer any questions as well.
Do any members of council have any questions or would like to discuss further on this item?
Got a question.
Yeah. Mr. Reyes.
I know that, like, if I'm not mistaken, they had brought this item to council before. On the layout overview of the North Loop Drive, who's doing are they doing like a widen to the street, or?
They're not doing a widening to the street, they're just dedicating additional right-of-way for the future expansion of the road. But that additional right-of-way is going to be used for, if I'm not mistaken, a deceleration lane to allow for the trucks to come in and out of the property.
Okay. Thank you.
I think that was one of the concerns that came up, because right now North Loop is a 2-lane. And so the deceleration lane is going to allow for that traffic to get out of the way for traffic that's been traveling behind that vehicle as well. So it's also going to allow for future improvements for the widening of North Loop as well, correct? They've
That is
dedicated.
correct.
Yeah.
And as a part of the process for the access of North Loop, the applicant is coordinating with TxDOT, and we have been also receiving information from TxDOT regarding their request for access.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Kimiro. We appreciate that. There was a motion and second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? This motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 13. This is a public hearing of an ordinance approving a preliminary and final plat for IZI number 1 subdivision being tract 4D, 4F, Block 3, Socorro Grant, located at 761 Sparks Circle in Socorro, Texas. It's 6:29 p.m. Public hearing is now open.
No speakers, Mayor.
No speakers, Ms. Navarro, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and close the public hearing, also at 6:29 PM. Agenda item number 14, second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving a preliminary and final plat for IZI number 1 subdivision being tract 4D, 4F, Block 3, Socorro Grant, located at 761 Spark Circle in Socorro, Texas. Do I have a motion?
A motion to approve with staff recommendation.
Second.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item number 14, IZI number 1 subdivision, preliminary and final plat. The property owner is Marco Herrera, Representative Manuel Urquieta. The lot is approximately 1.5 acres in size. The zoning is C2, general commercial, and the current land use is commercial. In summary, again, the request is for approval of a preliminary and final plat for IZI number 1 subdivision. Staff recommended approval of the preliminary and final plat request with the condition that the engineering review comments are met. Planning and zoning also voted for approval unanimously 5-0 for the approval of the preliminary and final plats at their January 21st meeting. The property is located just north of the intersection of Horizon Boulevard and Spark Circle, right next to the Mesa Drain. Zoning map shows the commercial zoning district for the lot, as well as the adjacent zonings, which are a mix of commercial and R1 single residential. These are photographs taken from Spark Circle of the property. You can see the existing business, which is a self-storage facility. From the aerial, you can see that the storage facility takes up the front of the lot with 3 buildings, and their plan was to expand the business to the remainder of the parcel. The preliminary plat shows the topography and the existing buildings. And the final plat just shows the single lot. In summary, the request is for approval of a preliminary and final plat for IZI number 1 subdivision. Staff can answer any questions that you might have, and the representative is not present today.
Okay. Does council have any questions or would like to discuss further on this item? Yes, sir, Mr. Garcia.
I just want to thank staff for being here. We flew in this morning, all of us did, and they're still here, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm here too, man. Thank you, Ms. Quimero. There was a motion and second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. Thank you. We're going to move on to our grants department with agenda item number 15. This is discussion and action to approve resolution 811 authorizing the city of Socorro to submit a grant application to the Office of the Governor's Fiscal Year 2025 State Homeland Security Program, SHSP, for the Multi-Jurisdictional Intelligence Sharing Cooperation Project and designate the city manager as the authorized official. There's no match requirement for this grant.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Alejandra Valadez, City Development Director. We'd like to request your approval to submit an application on behalf of the Socorro Police Department, the Horizon Police Department, San Elizario Police Department, Clint Police Department, and Anthony Police Department for the Multi-Jurisdictional Intelligence Sharing Cooperation Project. There is no match for this grant. We are looking to request funding for 2 intelligence analysts to provide localized data and reports on crime statistics, hotspots, and some predictive data to help our law enforcement agencies do the job that they do. And this will help all of those entities, with Socorro Police Department being the administering entity for that grant. I'm not sure if you all have any questions on that.
Any members of council have any questions or would like to discuss further? I have a question. When we decided to go after this grant, I'm under the assumption that our police chief has sat in multiple meetings with the surrounding agencies, I guess, to figure out what it is we're going to do, what we're trying to gauge here in our communities, correct?
Yes, sir. Robert C. Rojas, Chief of Police for the City of Socorro. Yes, absolutely, sir. Those are conversations that we have pretty often with all the different law enforcement heads. As far as all the ones that were mentioned, we have a great rapport with them, and we felt that this was an opportunity for us to collaborate together, and Socorro being the lead, to go ahead and take the lead in the intelligence analyst type of grant, so that we could support all those agencies that are surrounding us, and also even Anthony that's on the other side of the mountain.
Thank you, Chief. Well, let's continue staying in the lead. There was a motion and second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. Agenda item number 16, this is discussion and action to approve Resolution 812, authorizing the City of Socorro to submit a grant application to the Office of the Governor's Fiscal Year 2026 State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program for the Socorro Cybersecurity Mitigation Project and designate the city manager as the authorized official. There is a 20% match requirement for this grant. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We're requesting your approval for, to submit a grant application to the Office of the Governor's FY 2026 State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program. For this project, there is a 20% match. This project will fund technology upgrades, backup power systems, firewalls, and data backup solutions to strengthen the city's cybersecurity protocols and ensure that we have continuity of operations in the event of a cyber attack or a power disruption. We will request $177,000 in grant funding and commit a match of up to $44,000 approximately, or 20% of the total project costs. That match amount may be lower, but it will not be higher than that. That's why we're framing it as a match of up to $44,000. Given our procurement process, that may be a little bit lower. Again, this funding will allow us to implement uninterruptible power supplies, firewall security systems, and backup solutions for the Socorro Police Department to safeguard their sensitive data. We did prepare this project in cooperation with the IT director for the City of Socorro, Mr. Esteban Gonzalez. If awarded, we do not expect an award until next fiscal year, so we do have the opportunity to budget that match into our next budget for the city's operating costs.
Thank you. Do any members of council have any questions or additional comments they'd like to make on this item? No? When identifying the UPS systems that we need for the Socorro Police Department, IT are we well versed in? Because I know law enforcement is one thing, IT is another thing. So how do we know what type of UPS systems we may require?
So you're absolutely correct. I know policing, right? So we always defer to IT and their expertise and making sure that we're following best practices to ensure that we have the infrastructure and the technology that we need to make sure that we safeguard everything that we have there at the PD.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, and the police department does have certain cybersecurity requirements that are required of law enforcement agencies, specifically for data retrieval and keeping that information separate and ensuring that we have access controls, because that information could be evidence and sensitive information.
yeah, under state law, we're required to protect that information.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
May I add?
Yes, Ms.
And I
Ms.
just wanted to
Rota.
add that our IT director does come from a military background, and he does attend trainings, multiple trainings, to make sure that he keeps up with our cybersecurity.
Thank you. There was a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. Thank you. Agenda item number 17, this is discussion and action to approve Resolution 813, authorizing the City of Socorro to submit a grant application to the Office of the Governor's Fiscal Year 2025 State Homeland Security Program to fund the multi-jurisdictional barricade project and designate the city manager as the authorized official. There is no match requirement for this grant. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are requesting your approval to submit a grant application for the multi-jurisdictional barricade project. There is no match for this grant. This project is also in partnership with the Horizon Police Department, San Elizario Police Department, Clint Police Department, and Anthony Police Department, with the City of Socorro being the administering agents and the Socorro Police Department. We are seeking grant funding to procure 3 shareable and deployable modular barricade systems, as well as camera monitoring systems to enhance public safety and prevent terrorist attacks, specifically via vehicle ramming at large events in our community, such as the 4th of July extravaganza and the Socorro High School homecoming parade. The need for this project became evident after the January 2025 vehicle ramming attack in New Orleans. If you have seen the news, the active aggressor was able to evade the standard traffic barricades and just drive through and use the vehicle as a weapon. Many people were injured and killed in that event. This equipment will stop those vehicles from even entering past that line of defense. Again, it's 3 systems. They are deployable, so we will be able to take them in trailers to events across El Paso County in cooperation with the Socorro Police Department and all of the other law enforcement agencies that we mentioned. Again, this project came out of the police department, and through their guidance, we were able to identify the right equipment for this project.
Thank you. Do any members of council want to discuss further on this item or have any questions? No? There was a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? This motion passes. Agenda item number 19, discussion and action to approve work authorization number 5 under contract number 22-07-01 with Camacho Hernandez and Associates to provide.
Mayor, you skipped number 18.
Okay. We're gonna erase that. We're going edit that. We're going back to agenda item number 18. I'm sorry. Discussion and action to approve resolution 814, authorizing the City of Socorro to submit a grant application to the Office of the Governor's Fiscal Year 2026 Operation Lone Star grant program to support law enforcement operations and designate the city manager as the authorized official. There's no match requirement for this grant.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council.
Well, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, Ms. Valadez.
Thank you. I was too excited there. We are requesting your approval to submit a grant application to the FY 2026 Operation Lone Star program. There is no match requirement for this grant. We are requesting funding for overtime costs for Socorro Police Department officers supporting this initiative, the procurement of vehicles, and other necessary resources to strengthen public safety initiatives along the border. Operation Lone Star is a relatively new grant program. If funding, this will be our first time participating in that program, and the resolution is required in order to submit the grant application.
Thanks. Do you all want to discuss further or have any questions about Operation Lone Star? Mr. Reyes?
A comment, would this be very similar to Stone Garden, or is this a replacement of it?
Yes, so we are actually working under Stone Garden. We've been working in that program for many years. We have also been participating in the local border security grant program, also called Operation Border Star. Recently, the legislature has decided that that program will go away, and they're diverting funds into Operation Lone Star now. So in order to make up for that decline in funding through that program, we're going to go ahead and apply to as much funding as we can under this program. It's a similar type of program, and I think Chief can provide a little bit more context, but this is a good opportunity for Socorro to be able to get some of the vehicles that we need for our police department.
So when you go to Operation Border Star and Stone Garden, those really allow us to apply for funding for department overtime, which allows us to put additional officers out in the field that the city isn't necessarily paying for, right? So you get to increase the amount of officers and patrolmen that are out there. We use Border Star more as an investigative tool. So many times when we're working narcotic investigations that are in the overtime hours, that's what we're using this for. When it comes to Operation Lone Star, we are able to apply for funding. Stone Garden, we also are able to apply for funding. The only issue is that is kind of hit or miss depending on the year and the cycle that we're in. Operation Lone Star, we're applying for several vehicles and several hours of overtime. And what this is going to allow us to do is to go out there and again do added proactive enforcement. And mainly we want to go out on I-10 and we want to be able to start interdicting a lot of the crime that is occurring through using the highways, whether it be Interstate 10, Texas 20, FM 76. And we really, really want to be proactive, and this is what we want to use this for.
Thank you, Chief. Did that answer your question, Mr. Reyes? Yeah. Thanks so much. Do any other members of council have any comments or questions about this item? No? That was a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? This motion passes. Now agenda item number 19. Discussion and action to approve work authorization number 5 under contract number 22-07-01 with Camacho Hernandez and Associates to provide engineering phase services for the Paso del Norte Trail Project, CSI 0002-14-048 in the amount of $2.2,038,598 with 39 cents and authorize the city manager to execute this work authorization. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We are requesting your approval on work authorization number 5 with Camacho Hernandez and Associates to provide engineering phase services in the amount of approximately $2.2 million. If you recall, in 2023, the City of Socorro submitted a grant application to the FY23 Transportation Alternative Set-Aside Program for the Paso Norte Trail segment that will run along the Mission Trail. Socorro was awarded approximately $16.7 million for engineering, design, and construction. If you recall, on December 12, 2024, City Council did approve a work authorization with CEA Group to provide contract administration services for this project. Today, we are requesting your approval on work authorization 5 with Camacho Hernandez to provide engineering phase services for the Paso Norte Trail project. This work authorization that we're requesting your approval for today is 100% reimbursable by TxDOT under this FY23 statewide TASA grant award. There is no impact to the general fund. And I'm not sure if you all have any questions.
Do any members of council have questions on this item or comments?
No, sir. No, sir.
So, there's going to be another engineering firm being the contract administrator, and Camacho Hernandez is just performing the engineering services.
That's correct.
Okay.
So the contract administration firm, which is CEA Group, is going to help us ensure that the $16 million are used in compliance with the state and federal requirements for transportation projects, which is very key because that is a lot of money. It's one of the largest projects that we have right now. And so they'll do contract administration, but our design engineers, the engineers that are going to design the trail, ensure all the safety components, will be Camacho Hernandez under this work authorization.
And I know that our grant staff and along with city staff have eyes on it, but when we begin the project, can we also include them in our council meetings moving forward so that they can also report on like timelines and what that looks like as far as the project moves along? Yeah, if you don't mind, we'd appreciate that. There was a motion and second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? This motion passes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Moving on to the Recreational Parks Department. This is agenda item number 20. Discussion and action regarding the 2025 Independence Day Extravaganza event entertainment contract. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Victor Reta, Director for Recreation. We did go out and survey and request quotes from various artists from various genres for the upcoming Independence Day Extravaganza. We did hear back from staff as well as participants that they wanted to see some Latino, Norteño, or Tejano bands, as well as also look at country artists. We did hear back from Michael Salgado, who gave us a quote of $28,000. We did hear back from the Josh Abbott Band that quoted us $65,000. And then Easy Band did not participate in providing us a quote. In order for us to move forward with our recommendation of Michael Salgado, he is currently holding that day. If you would like to book him, that is the cheapest one that we got with a larger fan base and also resonates well with our demographic here in Socorro. So we are recommending that as the choice for this year's event.
I'd like to amend my motion to approve with staff recommendation of Michael Salgado for the fireworks extravaganza.
You want to make an amendment to this item? I just have one.
Just the motion.
Okay, can you repeat the rates again? I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Michael Salgado came in at 28,000, Josh Abbott came in at 65,000, and Easy Band did not participate in giving us a quote.
And then just for our situational awareness, the 28,000 for entertainment usually comes through sponsorships or a certain amount or portion.
Correct. So to offset the cost to the city, we do go out for sponsorships for the entire event, not just the entertainment, but also the support activities like jumping balloons, face painters, any kind of engagement with the constituents. We do go out for sponsorships from economic development.
Do you all have any other questions or?
And the cost of 28,000 is for 90 minutes?
Yes, ma'am. It's a 90-minute show from both performers. That's what they quoted us for.
Any other questions or comments? What if the crowd starts yelling, "Otra"? Do you
Seguimos
think?
la fiesta, no para.
Do you
No
think he'll
para.
perform one more?
You know,
We can.
Maybe I can. You know.
Okay. Hey, I'll always ask.
I'll second the motion.
So there was a motion and a second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rota. Moving on to agenda item number 21 under City Manager. This is a discussion and action to approve Resolution 815 expressing support for funding public safety initiatives, including the acquisition of fleet systems, tasers, body cameras, and robotic security systems, and authorizing the mayor to communicate this support to state and federal agencies, legislators, and other relevant parties. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arte? I'm sorry. Mr. Reta.
Mr. Darte is giving me the opportunity to present on this evening's item. Before you, you will have 3 requests for resolution. For those of you who are not familiar with what just occurred this week, we did go to the Capitol to seek support and assistance from various legislative bodies as well as elected officials to support our legislative agenda. Many times, elected officials will ask us if our council has passed a resolution to support the initiative. So before you will be 3 resolutions, each with a different purpose, which solidifies the city's support on the agenda. The one before you will be for public safety in order to assist our police department in ensuring that they receive the city council support in initiatives for not only funding, but also resources. And I can also read you the resolution if I get back to the computer. Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Resolution 815, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas, expressing support for funding public safety initiatives, including the acquisition of fleet systems, tasers, body cameras, and robotic security systems, and authorizing the mayor to communicate their support to state and federal agencies, legislators, and other relevant parties. Whereas the City of Socorro is committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of its residents and first responders, and whereas the Socorro Police Department has identified critical needs for robotic security systems to enhance law enforcement capabilities, public safety, and whereas the Robot as a Service, also known as RAAS, program valued at a $1,004,400 cost will deploy an autonomous robotic arterial security system to assist law enforcement in monitoring high-risk areas, reducing response times, and improving situational awareness. And whereas investing in these technologies will modernize the City of Socorro's public safety infrastructure, improve emergency response capabilities, and ensure the safety of law enforcement personnel and the community, now therefore it be resolved by City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas. Section 1. The City Council of the City of Socorro hereby expresses its strong support for securing funding for public safety initiatives, including fleet systems, tasers, body cameras, and robotic security systems. Section 2. The mayor is authorized to communicate this support to state and federal agencies, legislators, and other relevant parties to secure funding and resources for the implementation of these public safety initiatives. Section 3. The City Secretary is directed to send a copy of this resolution to relevant legislators, committees, and agencies to ensure that this resolution is made available to the public. Section 4. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage, passed and approved if on this day, the 20th day of February in the year 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Ruta. Do members of council have any other comments or discussion for this item here?
No, sir.
There was a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? This motion passes. Agenda item number 22, discussion and action to approve Resolution 816 expressing support for legislation in the Texas Legislature addressing abandoned land management and authorizing the mayor to communicate this support to state legislators and other relevant parties. Motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you is a resolution for land management, which is also one of our legislative agendas. I'll go ahead and read you the resolution. Resolution 816, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas, expressing support for legislation in the Texas Legislature addressing abandoned land management and authorizing the mayor to communicate this support to state legislators and other relevant parties. Whereas the City of Socorro is committed to promoting the health, safety, and welfare of its residents, and whereas the City of Socorro faces unique challenges related to abandoned land due to its agricultural history and its position near an international border, and whereas the legislation aims to streamline the process to swiftly identify and repurpose 448 landlocked parcels of land representing 3% of all land within the city limits, and whereas Socorro's rapid growth rate of 7% has increased the need for improved infrastructure and effective land management, and whereas the proposed legislation would provide for the judicial appointment of receivers for abandoned properties while incorporating numerous safeguards to ensure the protection of private property rights. And whereas this legislation would enable the City of Socorro to intervene in problematic property situations, thereby improving land use management and supporting necessary infrastructure development. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas. Section 1. The City Council of the City of Socorro hereby expresses its strong support for the proposed legislation addressing abandoned land management in the Texas Legislature. Section 2. The mayor is authorized to communicate this support to members of the Texas Legislature, the governor, and any other relevant parties. Section 3. The city secretary is directed to send a copy of this resolution to relevant legislators, committees, and agencies, and to ensure that this resolution is made available to the public. Section 4. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage, if passed today and approved the 20th day of February in the year 2025.
Thank you. Before we take action on this item, do any members have any comments on this item? No?
Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Reta. There was a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? This motion passes. Agenda item number 23, discussion and action to approve Resolution 817 expressing support for the preservation and rehabilitation of Rio Vista Farm and authorize the mayor to communicate this support to state and federal agencies, legislators, and other relevant parties. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The last resolution before you for approval of request is to support the Rio Vista and our historic tourism agenda, legislative agenda. And I'll go ahead and read Resolution 817. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas, expressing support for the preservation and rehabilitation of Rio Vista Farm, and authorizing the mayor to communicate this support to state and federal agencies, legislators, and other relevant parties. Whereas the City of Socorro recognizes the historical significance of Rio Vista Farm, which has shaped the region over its 101-year history, from its beginning as a poor farm to its role in sheltering children during the Great Depression and serving as a critical point of entry for the Bracero program. And whereas Rio Vista's farm history reveals a nationally significant yet overlooked side of the American experience, highlighting the contributions of skilled Mexican guest workers brought into the U.S. to address farm labor shortages during and after World War II. Whereas of the remaining 18 buildings on site, only 5 have been maintained and are currently in use, while the remaining structures, including those built specifically for the Bracero program, are severely deteriorating and at risk of being lost beyond repair without preservation and a reuse strategy. and whereas Rio Vista Farm was officially designated a National Historic Landmark on December 13th, 2023, recognizing its critical role in American history and enhancing opportunities for securing grants and other financial incentives for its preservation. Whereas the City of Socorro, in collaboration with the National Trust, University of Texas at El Paso, and other partners, has secured funding for architectural studies, stabilization efforts, and the creation of a Bracero Museum and Cultural Center. Yet, additional support is necessary to ensure the full rehabilitation and reuse of this historic site. And whereas preserving Rio Vista Farm not only honors the legacy of the Braceros and the Mexican-American community, but also provides opportunities for cultural education, heritage tourism, and community engagement. Now, therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Socorro, Texas, Section 1. The City Council of the City of Socorro hereby expresses its strong support for the continued preservation, rehabilitation, and adaptive reuse of Rio Vista Farm. Section 2. The mayor is authorized to communicate this support to state and federal agencies, legislators, the National Park Service, and any other relevant parties to secure additional funding and resources for the preservation of Rio Vista Farm. If passed and approved on this 20th day of February 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Reta. Before we take action on this last resolution item, do any members of council have any comments or questions?
I have a comment. I want to thank Victor and staff. I know that years back when I joined council, this was an idea. It's still a dream, and I'm very happy to see that it's going. I know that you've been working on it day and night, trying to get funding, and I hope we're able to see it very, very soon.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. Before we take action on this item, I too want to take the time to thank our staff and this council. I know it's been a long work day. We flew in from Austin this morning, and we're still here working. And this just goes to show the passion that you all have for the community that we live in and the residents who we owe it to. So I do want to thank you all personally on behalf of myself, my family who live here. We grew up here. We were raised here, and the generations before us and the generations to come. I want to thank you all for your hard work and your efforts. There was a motion and second on this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have multiple items for 24 all the way down to 31. Mr. Garcia, there was a motion?
A motion to go to executive?
There's a motion, do I have a second? There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 The motion passes. We're now going to go in, enter executive session. Good evening again. It's now 8:18 p.m. We're now back in session. Do I have a motion to delete items 24, 25, 26, and 27?
Motion to delete items 24, 25, 26, and 27.
I second that.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. Item number 28. Jim, do you need us to go ahead and read out the entire item, or can we just make the motion?
No, you've already,
Okay.
it's.
Deliberated? Okay.
The
Do-
motion is to suspend effective date for 90 days.
There's a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. For item number 29, do I have a motion?
Motion to suspend for 45 days.
Do I have a second?
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? That item also passes. For the item number 30, is there a motion?
Motion to deny.
Second.
There's a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes. Item number 31, do I have a motion?
Motion to deny.
There's a,
Second.
Second.
there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? That motion passes as well. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This meeting adjourns at 8:19 p.m. Thank you all.